Chapter 21. The Irony. Early humans explored their surroundings, roamed the wilderness, discovered, learned, and invented. They evolved and moved from confronting natural threats by just protecting themselves and taking shelter in caverns to acquiring more techniques to conquer and prevail. They improved their skills by building fences with tree branches and rocks till they secluded themselves in compounds and high-rise secured towers and ended up with underground nuclear-resistant facilities. Throughout their lifespan on Earth, they did all that and more for a single purpose: to survive. That's the most primitive motive that has guided human beings since their creation. It is rooted and hardwired in their minds like an inherent built-in system. Unfortunately, despite the complexity of the human brains and their advanced, ever-developing sophisticated thinking methodology, they have never complied with the rules of nature. They learn nothing about how to blend and integrate with their environment. They never understood that second chances were rare, and when offered, they should take different approaches to succeed and get different outcomes. Ironically, one out of many humankind blessings was a third golden opportunity to prove their expedience. Whether they deserved it or not would be decided according to their tactics with the new comeback to Earth. To be fair, the case with their second trial should be looked at, studied and evaluated thoroughly. Their approach on Proxima-b differed wholly from their first path on Earth, with pure intentions after all the sufferings they faced on their mother planet, and as an act of benevolence to do right for a fresh start. For generations, and to assert their entitlement, people followed Sam's laws, as they called them, evading as much as possible any interference with nature to avoid altering or resulting in any subtle change for the environment. Yet, the winds do not blow as the vessels wish. A massive storm attacked Proxima-b, leading to a long winter with freezing weather that lasted several decades in Earthlings' calculations. People, caught off guard, managed to reach either the mountain caves taking refuge in them or the shelters they built with highly resistant materials. Or so they thought. But these shelters did not withstand the gale collapsing at the very beginning of this icy era, resulting in hundreds of deaths and destroying many documents and media with all the knowledge they carried within. As for those who sought the mountains, it was not any easier despite their remarkably few numbers. Within their caves they did not have enough supply stocks, and the strongest among them had to go out often to fetch food and other needed errands for subsistence. Very few could make it back in such conditions of extreme weather. As time passed, their numbers dropped, and the count of sacrifices rose for the survival of those who remained, or they would all perish. When the storm was over, a few dozen were the survivors, with a much less countable number of sources that included the saved information from the mother planet. The survivors were primarily children born in that period who adapted to the weather within such sanctuaries. They were considerably sturdier than their folks, from whom they never had enough chance to learn. Their parents died either out in the wilderness in their search of food or within the caves fighting sickness. The new generation abandoned the refuge, wishing they would find something outside, but they found naught. There was almost nothing left of the world that was just about to start, no signs or remnants of the nascent civilization. All this contributed, one way or another, to the loss of the long-preserved data in books, transcripts or media, be it the inherited knowledge brought from Earth or the new one acquired on Proxima-b, together with Sam's orders. Thus, it did not take long before everything finally developed into sheer tales about an incredible voyage from another planet. Earth's documented history, the new laws of survival on Proxima-b, and everything else related to that epoch became legend. Earth turned into a myth. Eventually, life continued as it once began, with mere survival instincts, primitive discoveries, repeated trial and error, and all the ramifications that came along with that stage, as previously experienced on Earth. The results were anticipated and expected. Humankind repeated the same mistakes with the same outcomes, only at a different time, in another place.